Hi everyone. The last few days I've seen and heard a bit of disturbing stuff um, regarding how parents treat their children and stuff related to that. So I thought I'd make a video expressing my anger and basically telling you whether you should or should not breed. Now, I know, who am I to tell anyone what they should do ever in their life? But I'm not, and I just feel like expressing my opinion regarding the terrible treatment of children in today's Western society. I'm going to leave alone kind of the third world countries in which birth control isn't available or known about, or women have no choice in giving birth sometimes. So I'm going to be talking about people who can actively choose whether or not to have children or not in this Western civilized world. First reason is pretty simple. If you can't feed them, don't breed them. If you feel like you do not have enough money to support yourself, let alone a child, maybe put off having a child for a while. Secondly, you should not have kids if you are going to smoke around them. That is one of my absolute hates in this world, is seeing parents just sitting around with their toddlers or small children just puffing cigarette smoke into their face. If you're going to take on the responsibility of breeding and bringing up other humans, then quit your habit. Just, yeah, that's all there is to it. I don't really feel any sympathy for you with regards to, oh, it's hard to quit. You decided to have children. You can now quit smoking. Surely if you've given birth, or if you're the father, you've looked after the child, you can do that one more thing to, I don't know, preserve their lungs or something. Next up, and this may be a controversial one, but I believe that your children should be taken away from you if you don't vaccinate them. I know it sounds very harsh, or you should be penalised, or I don't know what the answer is, but there should be severe consequences for you not having your child immunised against deadly diseases. Unless, of course, the doctor says that there is a perfectly good reason for them not to, such as if they're being treated for cancer or something like that. Very extreme cases in which young children cannot get immunised for their own safety, and that's completely fine. I leave it up to the doctors because they know more than me. However, if you are not immunising your child based solely on bad facts or magic or religion, or anything like that, there should be severe consequences. Criminal penalties. I really do believe that. I see it as no different than taking them to the emergency room if they have a terrible accident, or not giving them medicine when they're sick. It's the same thing. It's just preventing these terrible diseases that may happen, such as measles and whooping cough, which can kill, which people don't realise. They think, oh, well, we're in 2012 now, so all these diseases are gone. No, they're not. They're only gone because we've kept up herd immunity, and now all these idiots are letting their kids run around with no vaccinations and with no protection against these deadly diseases. Related to the vaccination reason, as for whether people should have children or not, is proper medical treatment. Now, obviously, I'm talking about Western civilized society in which medical treatment is accessible. I'm not going to say that it's the easiest thing to get, because I do understand that a lot of countries don't have government rebate systems like Australia does, which is great. However, if you do, and if it is quite easy to gain medical care and treatment for your children, if you refuse this medical treatment in favour of, say, I don't know, prayer or herbal remedies or homeopathy or anything that is just plain fucking stupid and doesn't work, and therefore leaves your kid sicker or dead, dead, then you should not be having children, or there should be severe punishments for not treating your child with scientifically proven medicine. Next one is another controversial one. I feel very strongly about this because I believe everyone has choices in their life, and there should be no excuse for not treating children well. If your child is obese, then you should be severely punished for that as well. A lot of people go, oh, it's so hard to raise children, I don't have enough time to give them healthy food. It takes the same amount of effort to give a child a piece of fruit than it does a chocolate bar or a packet of chips. And it takes the same amount of control and energy to tell them to get off the computer and go and run around outside. So it comes down to controlling yourself and controlling your child, which isn't that hard if you set rules right in the first place. I'm not really sympathetic to those parents that go, oh, well, they just don't eat vegetables and they just don't eat fruit. They do, you just got to make them. Last but certainly not least, if you raise your children in a religion, that's completely fine with me. That is your choice, that is your freedom of religion, and blah, blah, blah. However, if you raise that child in a religion to such a degree that they are mentally abused, mentally scarred, psychologically damaged, in terms of telling them they'll go to hell for certain natural things, raising them to be homophobic, sexist, racist, all of that thing, anything that's basically based on any religious text that you tell them is the gospel and the word of God, and that therefore leads them to be a terrible human being, then I definitely think there should be some kind of punishment for that as well. Not only because I'm an atheist, but because it can do real psychological damage to kids and then when they grow up as adults. I personally wasn't scared shitless about hell or anything like that, but I have talked to a lot of people that were, and it made their lives living hell. So yes, I definitely think that over the top and abusive religious beliefs should not be part of parenting. Now you may be thinking, you don't have the right to have an opinion on this because you don't have kids. And that's true enough. That's because I can't have kids. So every time I see people who do have kids and are abusing that right, it hurts me a little bit. It cuts a bit deep because I figure if I had a kid, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd be treating them well. I'd be raising them right. I'd be feeding them right. I wouldn't be smoking around them. I wouldn't be filling their heads with shit. I'd be getting them medical treatment whenever they needed. I'd be vaccinating them. Of course, I wouldn't be the perfect parent. No one is. But I would have control. And I would take responsibility for my kids' health and upbringing and mental health. Also, I've recently started working with kids at risk who have abusive households and parents and just plainly terrible lives, and it makes me angry and it makes me want to take a flamethrower to their parents because these beautiful innocent kids are having their lives wrecked by adults who had the choice whether to have this kid or not, decided to, and then ruin their lives. So that's what I have to say about it. As you can see, I'm pretty angry. So I just wanted to have a little rant about people that don't deserve to have children. And I don't really care if you're offended or not because I've dealt with too much shit about being offended this week. So tell me what you think. What are some other things that you think that parents should not be doing? Yeah, I know I have no authority on this subject, but I just thought I'd have a rant anyway. Thanks, guys.